What's good, my beautiful family, and welcome back to another YouTube video. I am so excited to film this video today because this has been pretty requested in terms of the daily habits that I do on a continuous basis. And not only that, I kind of want to just talk about like where I feel like the world is heading in many ways. And by that, I mean success and what it means to be successful, because there's two different types of success. There's success in terms of what people in the world view success as, and then there is success that comes from more of a spiritual place of who you are as a person and the things that you do every single day. And to be completely honest, that's what success means to me. And I feel like sometimes I have to prove myself and my worth by how much money I've made. Being able to come on here and say that I make millions of dollars feels really uncomfortable for me. But sometimes I feel like I have to prove myself that I have made it financially and successfully in order for someone to actually listen to my opinion, which I don't think is true. But I also want to give you that knowledge so I can now share with you what it actually means to be successful, because you can make a certain amount of money, you can have a certain amount of worldly success, but if you are not fulfilled from within, and if you are not taking care of yourself in every single way, money doesn't mean anything. Does money help you? Yes. Can money allow you to provide for others, to give to charity, to do so many different things? Yes. And that's what I love being able to do, to help others. But then money also comes with this tie that like how much money you make means that's your worth. And then not only that, it also leads to just feeling unfulfilled in life, because when you're so focused on money, you don't feel satisfied from within. Before I started social media, I made sure that I had fundamental habits engraved into me. For example, fitness, eating clean, learning and educating myself, starting every single day with some form of a plan, drinking enough water, and then self-communication by writing and journaling. And I kind of want to just get into all those habits and why these habits are going to help you long term. And I always think about 2 to 3 years from now, if you continue to do the same things every single day that you are currently doing right now. So if you waste time, if you are mindlessly scrolling, if you are allowing people to consume your energy, then in 2 to 5 years, you're going to be living the same exact life. And I spoke about this in my last YouTube video. If nothing changes, nothing will change. If you are spending your time constantly giving into your desires, then yes, it is going to be hard to be disciplined. And I think that all of us have a choice. It's not about going from being super low to a super high. It's about just building yourself one step at a time. And the habits that I want to speak about today are basic habits. I'm not asking you to do things that are going to take extreme amounts of time out of your day, okay? I am going to ask you to do these fundamental pillars. I call it the blueprint to genuine success. That's how you have to think of it. If I do these 6 pillars every single day, it will lead me to success. And so the first habit that I really want to speak about is something that has genuinely changed my life. And I am not the same person without this one habit. And this habit is training. Every single one of us should be moving our bodies every single day, whether that is walking, running, weightlifting. Even if you are sore, you are moving your body through walking or stretching, some form of movement. And I am not saying this just for you to lose weight or to gain weight or to build a perfect physique. I am simply saying this for your mind. We are more likely to suffer through depression and anxiety because we are not putting ourselves through something physically challenging every single day. And if you put yourself through something physically challenging every single day, the impact that it will have on your mind is substantial. And that is why movement and training consistently is going to change your life. I just ran 10 miles the other day. I've never run 10 miles before. It was probably one of the most hardest things that I've ever done. After that, I literally was about to just fall down because my legs were hurting so bad. I literally woke up today with my knees like hurting so bad. But when I was running those miles, all I was thinking about is you are stronger than you think. You can continue to keep going, even though you want to give up in those moments. And whenever you are thinking that way, in those tough moments during training, that mindset is going to apply to your day-to-day life when you want to give up on your simple tasks, when you want to give up on the hard work that you have to do at your job or in your school, whatever it is that you're passionate about. All that mental strength is going to apply into your life. And that is why training is so important. The second habit is eating whole foods and enough protein. And I am not saying that you cannot give into cravings or you can't eat sweets. Follow the 80-20 rule. You do 80% nutritional whole foods. And by whole foods, I mean foods that are going to make you feel good. For example, carbs, sweet potato, quinoa, brown rice, getting in enough greens, kale, lettuce, cucumbers, tomato salads, chicken, steak, tofu, the foods that are from the earth. And when you continuously eat whole foods and high protein meals, you will be able to tell the difference of how it makes you feel. And then it also allows you to be more leaner, or maybe it is you wanting to gain more weight. You are going to gain weight in an amazing way because you're putting in whole foods into your body. And so when you start eating cleaner, and again, doing the 80-20 rule, and personally, I do it like throughout the week, I eat clean. And then on weekends, I give in to whatever I want to eat. Do I go buy burgers and greasy foods? Sometimes I do, because that's what I feel like eating, because I've had a week of consistent meals that have made me feel so fulfilled within myself and that are going to help me reach my goals physically, but also allow me to think clearly. Our gut is our second brain. And so the foods that you eat is going to affect your mental health. So if you're not eating clean and you're constantly eating out and you're ordering in food that is not healthy, it is going to affect your mental health. And then that's going to affect the way that you function on a day-to-day basis. It's going to affect your energy levels, and you understand where I'm going with this. And now the third thing is similar to eating clean. And I don't have to talk about this too long. It's just getting in enough water, hydrating properly. You're going to be able to think more clearly when you are hydrated. If you are going through the day and waiting till the very last moment where you're thirsty to drink water, that is not sustainable. You need to keep a water bottle on you at all times and aim for 3 liters or a gallon every single day. Not only is it going to help you with clarity, but it's also going to help you with your skin, the way that you feel, especially if you're training. Drink more water. Make it a priority in your day. The fourth habit I started adding into my life as I become more successful, my time is so valuable. Starting the day with a plan is going to help you focus on knowing exactly what you need to achieve in that day. And now the hardest thing about creating a plan is you have to have the discipline to stick to it. You can't consistently procrastinate and make excuses for yourself, because you are going to lose self-respect if you are not sticking to your word. And so as you create a plan, you also need to commit to that plan. And this book called Atomic Habits, it speaks about how you have to embody the identity of the person that you want to become in order to genuinely change. So if you are thinking of yourself as a person who is not disciplined, who is lazy, who has no goals for themselves, you're embodying that identity. You are attracting more negativity if you are consistently waking up with that perspective of life. And you have to always go in with the intention that I am a disciplined individual. I do have things going for me. I do have purpose in this world. I do have blessings and opportunities that are waiting for me. You have to embody that identity. And that is when you are going to start to attract new blessings. And you're also going to allow yourself to be open to more things in life. And so starting the day with a plan, you can do it through time blocking. You can also just do a to-do list. Don't overcomplicate it. Start with one thing at a time, okay? Your hardest task first, the thing that is going to help you progress in your life, get that done first. The fifth habit is learning. And now you're probably like, learning? What do you mean learning? Learning new topics of life. Maybe it's a new language. Maybe it's politics. Maybe it's learning about history. Maybe it's learning about how to train. For example, before I started social media and before I started any of this, I wanted to learn more about fitness. And that led me into then being able to teach other people about fitness. So I taught myself because I knew that was what I was passionate about. I wanted to help people feel confident in themselves through fitness. And so I taught myself that through reading. And now we have podcasts, which are so fundamental to our lives because, for example, I learned about faith and spirituality through podcasts. I also learned it through reading the holy book of my religion. And I dissected every single piece of information that I felt confused about because I'm a very curious person. I am a student of life, and you should always be a student of life. You should ask questions. You should dive into deep topics, have a deeper understanding for life. And you do that through reading and through listening to podcasts, listening to perspectives of life that make you question, like what is this teaching me? How can I apply this to my life? And I think we underestimate the importance of reading and listening to podcasts and consuming information that is going to genuinely benefit our lives long term. Because one thing I do want to point out is social media has damaged our dopamine levels, has damaged our attention span, has damaged our relationships with ourselves. I went through a really dark phase of my life where I was addicted to social media. Thank God I am not now. But there are times where I can get into mindless scrolls. I don't anymore how I used to. There was a point where social media was genuinely controlling my life to the point where I was consuming so much content that I literally was just rotting away, which was the most terrible thing in my life. Oh God, that was a really dark period of my life. And that was because I wasn't doing any of these things that I mentioned. I was still making money, but I wasn't doing any of these habits. And you know what it did to me? I was literally crying every single day. I couldn't sleep at night. I was just constantly anxious, constantly worrying about the future. It was the worst thing in my life. And that's why you need to be doing these habits, okay? Back to my point, reading and learning is one of the most important things that you need to be doing every single day. Learn new skills. You'll be able to apply it into your life at random periods of your life that you won't even realize. Consume things that are beneficial for your mind, not only just social media. The last habit is writing. Writing or journaling, self-reflection, self-communication. I started off with journaling, and I still journal, but I also write by just literally, I call it creative writing. And sometimes I'll do 3 pages every single day. This allows you to brain dump, have clarity, to also reflect and think with your heart and not your mind. I always like to think about the fact that we have gone through so many things that can cause us to have trauma. So, for example, a certain situation that happened in your childhood, or maybe it's broken trust, you will then carry on that same trauma into your life today. If you don't heal that trauma, you are going to take it with you through the rest of your life. And so by journaling and by communicating with yourself and healing yourself is going to do wonders for you. And it has done wonders for me. I have turned into a more compassionate individual. I have learned how to love myself properly. And of course, I still struggle with it at moments of my life, but I have learned how to be more empathetic and to reflect on my mistakes and to forgive myself and to forgive others, because sometimes we hold grudges for other people. If you are holding a grudge or you are holding hate towards anyone in your heart, you're only damaging yourself. And the only way that you are going to get through not hating someone, not holding a grudge anymore, forgiving them, maybe you don't have to tell them that you forgive them, but allowing yourself to move on. Communicating with yourself is such a powerful tool, and not only just to heal traumas, but to also think bigger for yourself, to literally just brain dump. And affirmations is something that truly gets me in a better mood. Telling yourself things like you are worthy, you are capable. And you might be like, no, that's not gonna help me. When you are feeling so low, kind words that you tell yourself are actually going to help you feel better in your day. But not only affirmations, some of the most successful people, they always speak about how every single day they write what they're grateful for. And that's being able to communicate with yourself. Or maybe it's journaling at the end of the night and reflecting on the day and where you went wrong and how you can hold yourself accountable and improve. But if you don't take the time to sit with your thoughts, how do you expect yourself to grow? How do you expect yourself to change? Nothing changes if nothing changes. And so the habits that I mentioned in this video are achievable. You are capable of doing those things every single day. And I don't want to hear that I don't have time. You have time if you make the time. A 30-minute home workout, prepping your meals on the weekends, listening to a podcast while you're driving or when you're getting ready, writing at the end of the night or in the morning for 5 minutes, creating a plan for the day for 5 minutes, drinking water doesn't require any time. It literally just requires you to fill up your water bottle and keep it on you at all times. And if you are someone who wants genuine change in your life and you feel like you're just struggling consistently every single day, and you don't have anyone who's pushing you, I want to start a movement called the Blueprint to Success, where all of us commit to those 6 habits every single day. And we do them as a community, and we hold each other accountable, and we uplift each other every single step of the way so none of us fall off of track. Every single person that is driven and ambitious and wants to finally be disciplined and consistent in their life, I want you to take part in this blueprint, because I guarantee you that if you stay consistent with these 6 habits every single day, that the universe or God or whatever you believe in will open new opportunities and blessings into your life, because you will be ready to receive them. And I've done this through my empowerment platform, Uplift You, which is an app where there's thousands of people using it daily to train consistently, to use recipes and track their macros for their fitness goals, but also a habit tracker. Because I know that if you show up and you consistently track your habits every single day and you remind yourself of the things that you're working towards, you are more likely to stay consistent. So the blueprint is going to be on my app, Uplift You. It's not a challenge. It is literally a genuine blueprint to success for you to be consistent. And we are going to be doing it on the date that I leave in the caption below. So whether you're seeing this video before we start this or after we start this, give yourself a couple of days to mentally prepare for this blueprint. Because when you start it and you commit to it, you do not want to go back on your word, because when you go back on your word, you are not going to be able to respect yourself. So when you tell yourself you are going to commit, you embody the identity of the person that you want to be, and you stick to your word and you show up continuously. And I will be right there by your side doing this with you. And so I'm going to leave all the information in the caption below if you want to do this blueprint and to genuinely commit to change. I know how hard it is to do things alone. And so being able to be right by your side during this moment is going to be huge. Thank you for listening if you made it this far. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next video. Mwah.